All right. I'm almost 100% certain that uh, the mic is working because the green bars are working. So I've pretty much learned that the mic is working. So this video, um, and I know my room is always a mess. I have to clean it up. I have to organize things. But I wanted to discuss what a reasonable amount of time um, is for somebody to take on a project on a particular frag movie. And not just that, like how many videos ex- can you realistically be expected to kind of put out if you're like very active? I just realized like I put out like a bunch of videos this year, and I didn't even notice. That really got. I don't. I I'm just doing this because I have fun doing it, and like I just do stuff, and I need stuff to do, and I get kind of depressed if I don't do stuff. So that's why I make as much content as I do. But if I had to look at like actual like real videos that I've done, I probably made like 50 reaction videos or 50 videos overall with like projects included and everything like that. So roughly this year I've made about 50 videos. So you're talking about one video a week that I've been kind of dishing out. Now, granted, most of these videos are not high quality. They're not high quality videos. Uh, what's up, Dan? What's going on, man? Um, these videos are not like high quality videos. They're relatively um, pretty easy and simple videos. So uh, I think if I spent more time on them and I actually put like more effort into them, probably have like half as many. So, which I do wish I kind of did spend more time on some of these videos because some of them are I just kind of just do off the top of the dome with no planning or anything, and really just no real kind of structure or anything like that. So I'm trying to get better at that. Um, but yeah, I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I'm not in a active relationship. So I make stuff and I do things, and I'm not. To be honest with you, like if we're talking about like partners and stuff like that, I'm really not that interested in finding somebody sooner and anytime soon because I don't know. I had a bad relationship, my previous relationship, and I'm still not over that. I'm still not over that. I thought for sure it was going to work out with her, and um, it didn't. And I'm just kind of hurt that it didn't work out, and I'm still kind of figuring out where my head is in terms of that. But let's talk about how long an edit should take. I think this is a good topic to discuss, especially when you've got guys sometimes spending like over a year. Sometimes you've got guys spending fucking like 4 years on a fucking edit, which is crazy. And I'm sorry to curse, but yeah, like that's a long time to spend on something. And I get like if you're like doing I get it, you got a life and everything, and you're doing stuff, and this is not like your job, right? Like that's let's be honest, like you're not getting paid off this, you're not surviving off this, and it makes sense that wouldn't be a high end like super top priority. At the same time, you know, I don't know. I think like after about I don't know what a reasonable time frame is for somebody to make a montage in. We'll discuss that actually here, but um like reasonable time frame like as far as what should be expected out of the average person. But if you're serious about like making it like and really like kind of like getting your fucking your talents into this niche and really carving out your name in it, I think you got to produce a lot of edits, as many as you can, and we'll discuss that right now. So I wrote something up on my phone here. So and actually, it's funny that Dan posted the comments he did because he goes content monster, number one content monster, and what's called it's funny that he mentioned that he posted that because he's the one that brought it up to me, and I was like, yo, I have made a lot of videos this year. I didn't even notice that. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So I've made a crap ton of content this year, and actually counted them all up, and it's a fair amount of videos. Well, if you count the ones that aren't already pre-released, like that weren't already pre-made, it's probably I've made around like one video a week or so, which I mean I think is pretty good, and I think reasonable amount to be expected if you're trying to kind of like really fucking dig into this niche and carve your name into it. So I don't know. That's my thing, my take on it. So I'll just read what's on my phone here. So how long should an edit take? In my opinion, if you're using your time wisely and you know your way around the softwares or software that you're using, a solid edit should take you around 1 through 2 months. That's a solid, and I'm just saying that like off the I was just writing this off the top of my head. So that I expand on this a little bit more. So it should I said you're you know your way around the softwares. Your solid edit should take you around 1 through 2 months. That's a solid 2 through 6 minute edit. Unless you're trying to do something super complex or new that you've never done before, like picking up a new software or messing around with a very unique style you're experimenting with, I don't think a 2 to 6 minute edit should take longer than 2 months to complete. Now, granted, you know, I've been taking like 3 to 4 or 5 months on a lot of my projects. So, but at the same time, what's called, I think, when I'm also making these videos, I'm making other videos and stuff like that. So I, I really should focus more on quality than quantity. But I've been producing both quantity and quality, I feel like. So like, I think this is a good thing to touch on. Let me see here. So 2 to 6 minute edit should take no longer than 2 months to complete. On average, I want to say a mid to high end 2 to 6 minute montage takes around 100 to 200 hours to complete. Let's say we're able to put in 4 hours per day on the weekend. That's 12 hours per weekend and roughly 50 hours a month. That comes out to 2 to 4 months if you work on the video part time and only on the weekends. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to say like people got to start counting their time and everything like that, but there seems to be like, I don't know, man. Like, I hate to say this, but like using time wisely, I don't know what other things people are doing most of the time that, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't like traveling either. I don't like traveling. I go and I eat. I go to restaurants. I hang out with people. I do stuff. It's not like I'm only just making videos all the fucking time. I'm actively living life, spending time with family, doing things, working as well. Um, let's say we're able to put in 4 hours per day on the weekend. That's 12 hours per weekend and roughly 50 hours a month. That comes out to 2 to 4 months if you work on the video part time and only on the weekends. When I say 100 to 200 hours to make a standard mid to high end montage, I'm also counting render and watch time for errors. Let's say you do 20 hours a week for the vid. That's 160 hours roughly in 2 months. So it's right around that 2 month period. So I guess that's like pursuing things like part time. So if you pursue things part time, I think like generally like it should be like within that 2 month period sounds about right for you to get stuff done, um a video done two yeah, 1 to 2 month period. It sounds reasonable, especially if you're putting in about 20 hours a week on the project and everything like that. 20 hours a week breaks down to around 3 hours per day. For example, I've edited 10 to 14 hours in one night when I've got an itch and I want to scratch it. So a 1 month turnaround is definitely doable, but requires one to be highly motivated for said project. Obviously, I'm guesstimating everything here. I think as a general applicable rule of thumb for us passionate hobbyists of the frag movie art form is around one serious project per trimester. So here I start talking about what is actually like reasonable expectation, and that's about 3 serious videos per year. I think is a very doable goal, especially as a part-time hobbyist. And if you're not making any, you're not doing this like full time and making a living off of this. So I think three serious projects per year, one serious project per trimester, um, is a good general rule of thumb. So forget all about what I said before and just that's basically the number that I came up with when I was writing this out. All these here I go into all these numbers I'm pulling straight out of thin air, but I'm using myself as reference. I'm a single male who works full time on low end of hours, who is still learning, by the way. So I'm learning new stuff too, as well, reading books and doing all this stuff. I try to stay busy as much as I can, because I get like real depressed if I don't. Um, and this year I've done Lucid Stage, so that's one. Project Surrender, that's two. Escape the Fate Shore, that's three. Best Stuff in Promo, that's four. And Tin Soldiers, that's five. So I've done about 5 videos, but that ends up coming out to about 10 minutes of actual like serious mid-level editing, in my opinion, because I don't think the videos I've made are really all that special in terms of like high compared to like these high end like premium edits I've seen. um so here I say I've done a crap ton of reaction videos and podcasts. I think I have a fair understanding of time management for this stuff. Generally speaking, if we only count the edits, we're looking at around 10 minutes of actual mid-level editing. So that's what I just said. But you mix in the reaction videos, the podcast, and whatever else I've produced, and it paints a pretty decent picture of activity, particularly managing 2 channels. All in all, I think expecting someone with an actual serious full-time job, which my work is pretty flexible, and pretty lax. It's not stressful. So, and a person with a serious full-time job who has a family, has stuff to do all over the house and stuff like that, and has kids and everything. Um, to do anywhere near the amount of work I've done this year is like really unreasonable. So, however, expecting half as much is more than fair, I think. So that's what I was talking about. Like, I think expecting about half as much of the work. So like we're looking at maybe 1 to 2 videos per year, on top of maybe doing a couple other kind of weird or whatever projects that they want to do, any kind of experimental stuff they want to do. 1 through 2 videos per year is serious videos is is more than reasonable for somebody who's just who has family, doesn't do this as a full-time job, and is just trying to have fun with it as a hobby for them, and not trying to make something more out of it. um, so here I say I'm not really sure what more to say. Generally speaking, I believe we might be underproducing content as a community. We got to step up our game and manage our time better, but that's just my personal take on things. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Um, and dude, I just want to say, like, it's not a knock on people taking a long ass time on videos. If that's what you need to do in order to stay motivated and actually finish the video, like, then do it, but I think if you're going to do that, then maybe do other projects in between that, so that you could consistently be pouring out projects and content. Because it's like, I'm a big fan of everybody's. I want to see more content, man. I want to see more videos. So I love watching videos, and I think one of the biggest producers of these videos is like guys like Hyena. Danchi has put out a lot of videos as well, this year and last year. Blackhawk's always putting out videos. Like, these guys are some of the best contributors. But when I hear like dudes putting out videos, like, it's taking like a year or 2 years, or like even now you got people talking about, oh, I've been working on this project for 4 years. Like, dude, like, and not a knock on people or whatever, but it's not like, uh thanks Hyena, nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you, Bo. um what's it called, it's not a knock on people who are taking their time on videos, but dude, there comes a point where I gotta call it out and be like, all right, that's not really a flex in that sense. Like, if you're taking that long on content, like, it's admirable that you've had the project as long as you have and you didn't give up on it. But um you know I don't think we're using our time wisely at that point. Like, what are you doing that you must have been like doing like what 5 minutes at a time or something, like I don't know, is everybody like when I did grit, it took me nine, I think around 9 months to do grit, and I was depressed, like heavily fucking depressed on medication that like made me not want to do shit, and also like just not be motivated at all to do the project. You can ask Arana this, and he'll tell you like I had a fucking I, poor Arana had to like beg me to work on the project and stuff because I was so down and so out of it. Um, so I'm curious to know what's holding some of these content creators back from putting out at least 1 to 2 serious videos per year, and really producing more content for the community. It for me it doesn't really make much sense, unless if you've got other commitments and you're you have other things that you enjoy and that you love doing, like maybe I don't know, maybe share that have that be some of the content that you share on your channel with the guys, because I know a lot of people, they love the content creators that in our niche, and would love to see people within our niche produce more content. And I've talked to people about this, and well, a few people about this, and they're like, yeah, it's just the stress of life, and then having to balance, work life, lifestyle, family, relationships, going out, having a social life and stuff like that. Like, dude, I have all that, and it's not taking me fucking 4 years to create a video. So, 4 plus years, 5 plus years to create a video. So, I have had periods of time where like, I couldn't fucking, I do empathize with people, because I have had periods of time where I couldn't finish fucking videos, right? Like I couldn't get stuff done. I couldn't do anything, and I wasn't motivated. I wasn't like interested in doing certain kinds of content that certain people were doing. And I really wish I would have done more content like that, but I just couldn't. I don't know where my head was at. I was going through a lot of stuff at that time. And yeah, but dude, um yeah, it's not a knock on people taking forever on videos. It's just like, I like seeing content, and I gotta call it how I see it, man. I gotta call it how I see it. When I hear of folks taking years on projects, I gotta call BS on that. You're not working fucking on the video the entire year, and then like that's just me. Obviously, if you got scraps, like I've seen dudes, they scrap a lot of their shit and they never release it, or when they do, or whatever, like they scrap a lot of their stuff, and that's interesting. But even if you scrap the stuff, and it's like, I don't know, man, like I just feel like you got to find that genuine like inspiration within you to really crank out the work, man, and put out the videos for your following, man, because like people fucking want to see what, like they want to see you dish out content. They want to see you create something. They want to get to know you better and see what you're about, and the kind of content that your creativity and imagination conjures up. So I hope this motivates people, and I'm not trying to knock on people or anything, or like be like, oh look, I made all these fucking videos and all this stuff, and like um because it's not like I'm getting a lot of views with my shit. Like my fucking videos, they suck. Like they're they're half-assed. Like a majority of them are half-assed videos. Like the reaction videos I just do on the fly. Like most of the time you can see the actual recording window on there. So I'm gonna start getting better at like making them a little bit more presentable. But dude, like I just hope this lights a fire underneath some creators' butts and asses, and gets them to finish up the projects that I want to see, and I want to watch, because I'm waiting for them. And dude, again, you know, fucking years of work on a video. I don't know, man. I don't know how like I don't know how that even works. How that even works out, man. Like are you I don't I, I just can't say like half the stuff that I'm thinking, because I don't want to be like, I don't want motherfuckers to like hate me and shit. But dude, like, come on, guys, get yourselves in order, get yourselves in gear, you know. Um, crank out those projects, man. And I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna chill here for a little bit. I appreciate the guys that stopped by. Um, and Danchi, Hyena, love you guys, bro. Um, and um, yeah, dude. Uh, I'm wondering, man. Like, I guess like I'm an obnoxious dude. Like, I'm a fucking obnoxious guy, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's like a superpower or something. I don't know, but I gotta stay busy. I gotta stay busy. If I don't stay busy, I get fucking depressed. Like, yeah, I was just in a fucking car crash, dude. Like, I was just in a fucking accident. My car is fucked, you know. Like, and I if I don't get my mind off that shit, like I would just keep thinking about that and like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get to my fucking dentist appointment next week? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? And get in my fucking head about this shit. And I really am bummed out. Like I love that car, by the way, guys. And like it's bullshit that this kind of shit happens to me, you know. But what are you gonna do, you know? But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm dealing with like serious, like a bunch of stuff. Like I have to go, I have doctor's appointments, I work, I see my family, like my parents and stuff, and my brother's family, my nieces, my nephews. I actively communicate with them, and you know, I don't have kids and I don't have a wife or whatever, but I, I be honest with you, I don't want one right now. I don't want that shit. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I'm glad I'm back in this space. Um, but yeah, I think I wanna what's it called go to some conventions and stuff like that, and really start kind of exploring more communities, and building up my following a little bit more, because you know, this whole doing everything online and everything, like if you're not making an impact within the community, I don't think you're going to grow as fast. You really got to do like a lot of stuff to grow, like, and I'm learning that the hard way. Like I made all these videos and stuff like that, and like hardly any views. And then really, like when I start making shorts out of like I just started making shorts out of the podcast episodes, and like, damn, dude, like we got like fucking 10 10 or 10 plus subscribers all in like a week's time or something, or 2 weeks time or whatever. It's like we had more subscribers just in that 1 week where we created shorts out of the content than we had the entire year, uh like leading up to the contest and everything like that. So you know, it's all learning experience for me. But yeah, dude, like I don't know, man. Like I just I just want to see, I want to see us fucking thriving, man. I want to see us fucking thriving. Like it's not like a knock on anybody. Like I want to see us fucking back in the game, dude. Like it's like being a Halo content creator is like, it's almost like you're in a you're like in like, I don't know, like a depressed state or something, because like we're not actively producing as much content as we should be. And I feel like it correlates, right? Like the more content we produce in the Halo sphere, the more people are going to be interested in actually playing the game. So I think in that sense, like we got to do our part, you know, as creators and as passionate passionate fans of the series and everything. Because yeah, like like last month I was ready to give up on this shit, and I'm like, you know what, man, like I'm just gonna stick it out and sink, you know, go down with the ship if it sinks. And I have faith. You know, I know I've said like I don't have faith in like Halo Studios and stuff like that, and you know, I don't have faith that they're gonna produce like a high quality game and all that stuff. But I really do, like in the back of my head, like something has like something's like clinging there, and like hoping that they really do pull it off and they're able to like do something big with it, you know, and do something amazing for the community. Because I like I said, man, I never want this to stop. I don't want this game to end, and I'm ready. Like I'm fully committed to like this niche and the art form and everything. And I, you know, I'm just looking forward to everything that's coming up. So um again, man, like I'm not trying to piss anybody off with what I'm saying. It's just I'm just calling kind of like BS on certain things. Like, you know, like I don't know, man. I do feel that. I do feel that like like if you're going through like a rut and stuff like that, and it's just like you can't fucking, I know what it's like to not be able to finish any projects, man. And now that I've kind of got some momentum, like I'm like, I just want to light some fire underneath them people's asses and really get them motivated. But dude, like, yeah, it's tough when you can't fucking finish anything, or you keep scrapping stuff, or it doesn't feel right, like the video doesn't feel right, the flow does off, whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, yeah, it sucks, man. And I don't mean to be like rude about it or whatever. It's just like I'm just trying to motivate people to do stuff, and I want to see more content because I love everybody that produces content here. And you know and I think I'm gonna take a step back on the reaction videos. I think I'm gonna chill out on the reaction videos. I know I talked to Dan and I talked to Reaching Aid about doing like actual multi-person reaction videos, and I'm really actually looking forward to that. Still trying to figure out how we're gonna do it, but with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this doesn't piss on anybody off or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you know, yeah.